has become very, very expensive. See, a gele, a 22 passenger gele used to cost us around 3,000–4,000 to move them, say, from Banjul or from Congo to Farafenni. Now drivers are asking for 10,000, 12,000. So things have become very, very expensive. So at the end of the day, we had to reduce the number of people to take to Farafenni. We had a request from, say, for KMC and West Coast, we had a request for 105 vehicles. We could not accommodate all that. So we had to reduce it by less than half. To about 50 vehicles. And in the end, we were only able to take 40 vehicles from KMC West Coast. So really, if we were able to take all those people to Farafenni, my God, then the town would have stopped. Because we would have had so many people. It's unbelievable. But thank God it all went very well. We are happy with that.
Okay. In Africa, it's common for coalitions. Why choose APP? We know the fact that UDP will be interested to have a coalition with you. We know NPP will be interested to have a coalition with you. Why the APP?
Coalitions are usually supposed to be a marriage of two entities. So the interests and the policies, the vision should align. I'm not saying that ours does not necessarily align with all these other parties that you have mentioned. But at this current period, I do not really think that us joining any of those two parties would be the best that we can do. We think that Gambia needs a third force. A third force that is capable of offering an alternative to these two parties that you mentioned. They are not the only parties, of course, there are others. But since you chose to mention those two parties, I would say that, we can put together a very strong alternative to those ones. And that is why we agreed to merge with Sobea, with APP. Yes. But it's not just APP. We have other organizations, political parties and entities that joined us.
Okay.
Empowered is now part of us. Mass Demonstration is part of us. Gambia Reform and Change Party is part of us. National Alliance for Change is part of us. National Development Alliance is also part of us. So we are now a very big group. Apart from the two parties you've named, I think with this coalition or with this collection of parties and organizations, we stand to be the next biggest party or organization, political organization in the country. So that is why we choose to do it this way. And to be quite candid, we want to offer a very credible alternative to what we have seen. UDP, we have seen a UDP government in Gambia before. We have seen an ANPP government as well. We want to offer something better than that. And that is why we chose this path. This is not to say that they haven't given their best. They have done what they could. But we do think that we can offer something better to Gambians, and that's why we're choosing this path. But we're calling all parties really to come together. We're calling, especially parties in the opposition, to come together and coalesce, so that we can reduce the cost of politics in this country. Because politics is very expensive. By coming together, we reduce the cost. By coming together also, we make it easier for a particular agenda to be heard further and wider. So that is why we chose this path.
Okay. And some people are saying there can be the family, but some people are saying the youth are happy. How will you gauge the country right now?
Well, fortunately, Afrobarometer conducted a recent survey in which they found that 77% of the country believe that the country is heading in the wrong direction. And it's caused the government to panic and are now out in all sorts of media trying to debunk the findings of Afrobarometer. Interestingly enough, the reason they used to criticize Afrobarometer is the reason why their own arguments would fail. They are saying that Afrobarometer's statement is not representative of the actual fact. Well, they did a test. The government did not do a test. So what is the basis for their assertion? So this is all, well, this is all about spinning. It's political spinning. You know, when people study political science, they think that all these crazy ideas that apply in the West would also work in Gambia. So that was just political spinning. It has no effect. You know why I say that? These are pocketbook issues. People feel it in the pockets. No matter how you spin it, you know, people would feel the pain. If you go to the market, you feel the pain of the hardship in this country. If you pay school fees, you feel the pain of the hardship in this country. If you pay rent, you feel the pain of the hardship in this country. If you drive a car, except if you are fueled by an entity like government, but otherwise you feel the pain of the cost of fuel. So everything in this country is hard. Everything is painful to the Gambian people. Those who say the youths are happy, they're just fooling themselves. They are deluding themselves. Even the kids they carry around, holding placards saying that the youths are happy, those youths are turning around looking for handouts from them. Otherwise they can survive. How can they be happy? Let them stop fooling themselves. Gambians are not listening. Thank you.
At the rally, you say the wind of change is blowing. You also said government is pursuing all our funds, and you will go after these people if elected. We have seen the likes of Dr. Cisse or the Sabali attacking you. Why sometimes you don't go after these people? You don't respond in most cases.
I am challenging their boss. I am challenging their father. Why should I respond to them? You know, and also, you respond to something that makes sense. But something that does not make sense to anybody. Even those who make the statements, what they are saying does not make sense to them. Why should I respond to them? You know, I'll be bringing myself down to their level. So I would not respond to this nonsense. You know, I mean, and I don't think Gambians would forgive me if I were to be responding to this kind of nonsense.
So tell us some of the things that you mean by pisir pasar. Mansakunda bala naflo be pisir pasar kan. That means they are playing with our money. They are playing with our funds. One of the examples you give is the 100 plus SUV. Is this one example, or there are a series of examples that you can cite to ascertain that yes, this government is really playing with us and with our funds?
Look, we claim we are a poor country, that we do not have resources. That means, therefore, we have to take the little we have and use it very wisely and to take it serious. But to be quite candid, what I see in this country is that there is a lot of waste in this country. This waste should not happen. I mean, if you don't have enough, why waste? But you use the example of the SUVs. During Jammeh's time, we needed vehicles to transport heads of states who visited. 53 heads of state, I think, were to visit the African Union with dignitaries, foreign ministers, and so forth. Jammeh did something that made a lot of sense. Instead of buying vehicles, Jammeh rented vehicles. So he put money in the pockets of Gambians.
He rented vehicles.
He rented vehicles instead of buying. So by renting vehicles, he put money in the pockets of Gambians. So you have a four-wheel drive, put it out for it, and they pay you a lot of money. that put a lot of money in the economy. What did this government do? What they did instead is to buy 89 SUVs. Okay, they claim that it's for these visiting dignitaries who were to be here mainly for 2 days. All right, but what happened afterwards? These are things that they distributed amongst themselves. So essentially, they were just buying SUVs for themselves. So $15 million of taxpayer money spent on a useless venture. So this is like this is why I call it Yakalante. They were really providing for themselves. And that is a waste. These are the kinds of things that we should avoid. You know, these are the kinds of things that we should avoid because Gambia does not have enough, as they claim. Therefore, the national resources should be used in a way that best benefits the Gambian people, but not a few people. Okay. Look at the SUVs. I understand that some of them even went to people who do not work for government. That is illegal.
That's it.
If that is true, that is illegal. And these are the kinds of things that we must avoid. That's why I say it's not full official person. Look at Meet the People's Talk. The president left State House, went to the provinces to meet the people, passing by the hospital that has most of the essential facilities it does not have. But they went around and wasted all that kind of money. I understand that last year the budgetary allocation was 20 million and they spent 63 million. That too, in my view, is illegal. Okay. So this year, God knows how much they spent. But the idea of allocating $45 million for the president to go around the country, and then you allocate $50 or $52 million for Ministry of Tourism, shows that we are not getting our priorities right. This is a ministry that should have been well-resourced to be able to bring tourists in this country, to promote Gambia as one of the best tourist destinations in the region. But they are not putting in the money there. They are putting it into useless things. So this is the kind of waste that we must stop. That's why I call it now full official pasa. Okay.
2021, you came just 3 months before elections. 2026 is coming. Do you have enough time for 2026? If yes, what do you want to do from now against 2026?
Well, 2021 was a unique period. I ran at a time when a lot of Gambians were saying that Essa should wait until 2026.
Yes.
I think I may have made a mistake in running in 2021, but I did it for the Gambian people because a lot of people were putting a lot of pressure on me to run, and I yielded to their request. And maybe a lot of people did not support us because they were disappointed that I ran in 2021. But well, here I am. We're giving it a shot in 2026. And all those who are saying that I should wait till 2026, well, 2026 is around the corner and I am still there. I hope we would earn their support. Okay. But the thing is, 2026 too, we had only 85 days or thereabout.
For 2026?
Yes, we had only, 2021, we had only about 85 days.
Yes,
less than 3 months. And that was very little, to be quite candid. This time around, we have already started. We are going to campaign from now onwards until election time. So with that, I do believe that we would gain a lot of traction. Now we have a lot of momentum. I want to believe that by 2026, we would have attracted so many Gambians that we would be the party to win it. Okay. Look, the truth is we are the solution. We are the solution. Okay. We have tried them and they did not deliver to the expectation of the Gambian people. So we believe that the alternative we offer is the best for Gambia, and we do hope that the Gambians will embrace it.
Okay. So many people say, we've seen politicians who will go and give us boreholes, we've seen politicians who will go to hospitals and pay hospital bills, we've seen politicians who carry people here to go for medical treatments, and Essa will just go and keep quiet until when election is 3 months or 6 months. he comes and tells people vote for me, they will ask, what did you do for Gambian people that deserve for people to vote for you?
Well, I think that the test of who to vote for is not whether you have dug a borehole here or you have paid medical bills there. That is not the test for the presidency. If that were the test for the presidency, then we just leave it to the richest Gambians, and everybody would fold and go to bed. That is not the test. The test is what can one do for the country. Okay, where can a particular individual take the country? Does the individual have the capacity? Does the person have the temperament? Does the person have the connection? Does the person have the skills? Does the person have the knowledge or the know-how to do it? These are the requirements, you know. Does the person love this country enough? And I believe that if put to the test, I will not come second to anyone with all that criteria. But, okay, some people think that they need to ask this question.
Yes.
Well, what I have done for the country, I don't think there is any other politician who has done it.
Really?
Yes, and by every measure. If it is paying school fees for people, I probably paid more school fees than anyone.
Okay.
If it is helping people pay medical bills, maybe I have done it more than anyone else.
Okay.
But the thing is, I don't do it and come out and flaunt it. I have done something in public that every Gambian has seen. I have never used it for my politics. When COVID broke, I was the first and the only politician who went around the whole country and helped people from Banjul to Basekatong to Koina.
Yeah.
During COVID, when people were running away from each other, nobody would trust each other to sit like we're sitting now.
During COVID, yeah.
Okay? But I went around the country and helped hundreds of Gambian families. I did it together with other patriots, other people who love the country. Dr. Tal was amongst them, Amijaju was amongst them, Burunjai and others, Mariam Faal and others. And these people followed me all over the country. I did not stay at my home and say, oh, there is COVID out there. I stayed at my home and hold my telephone. No, I went out in the country and I went everywhere to help Gambians. Has any politician done it? Well, after I have succeeded, some people said, okay, they're raising money to they call it what? Buntung? Was it?
Yeah, Buntung.
Buntung? Yes, they did. Because Essa has gone around the country and helped Gambians, you know, and people were in very difficult conditions. I recall I went to a place in Birkama. This family had killed a rat.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
And they didn't have anything to cook it with. When I arrived with my team and gave them a bag of rice, a gallon of cooking oil, tomatoes and onions, you should see the jubilation and celebration in the home. These are the things that make me tick. But I'm not using it for my politics. Because my qualification, okay, to the presidency does not depend on how many people I have helped. It should depend on what I can do for the country. Do I have the knowledge? Do I have the experience? Do I have the temperament? Do I have the negotiation skills? Do I have the qualities? Am I honest enough? Do I have the integrity to run this country? Do I have the ideas? Do I have the plan? Do I have the vision? That is what is required. But not whether I have paid school fees for Modu or I have paid school fees for Demba. Okay. Look, I have paid school fees for a lot of people, even in this group here, even in this room here. Okay. I have paid school fees for people. I don't broadcast it. Okay. We are 5 here. Yes, but I have paid school fees for 2. Okay. But you are not aware of it.
I'm not aware of it now.
Exactly. So the thing is, I don't do these things and broadcast them. Okay. My philanthropy, my charity work is not for politics. Okay. That is for me and my God. The Allah that I worship mandates me to give alms, mandates me to help my fellow Muslims, mandates me to help humanity. And I do it in worship of my God, Allah. Alright? I don't do it for show, I don't do it for politics. Okay. So those who would do something and show it for politics, that's their problem. In our team, we have people who've dug hundreds of boreholes in the country. We don't go around and parade it to score cheap political points. Because the test as to whether a person should be president or not should not be based on what the person has given.
Many people know you from the TRRC, and so many Gambians also are saying that the TRRC recommendations are not implemented. Are you disappointed that the TRRC recommendations are not implemented?
Of course I am disappointed. We worked so hard. Look, we did a tremendous amount of work. We really dug deep in order to do that. I recall, just like Fadi said, I spent the night at TRRC for months. Almost every day I spent the night at TRRC.
You sleep there?
Yes, to write the reports and the recommendations. It was a great deal of work. But I knew that I had to make the sacrifice because the Gambian people entrusted the responsibility of conducting a good TRRC on me. It was not my duty to write reports. It was not my duty to do recommendations. I could have finished leading the evidence and then I leave. But because of the love I have for my country, I am passionate in helping the country arrive or reach the best situations in everything where I can help, including the TRRC. That's why I spent sleepless nights there, working hard together with my team to produce the reports and the recommendations. I mean, I want to believe that we did a good job because we submitted 268 recommendations and the government accepted 265 recommendations.
Okay.
Even the 3 that were rejected, I can challenge them and I will win.
The 3 that were rejected?
Yes, I can challenge them and I would win because they rejected them on wrong reasons.
Okay.
But that is, this is a government. They have a discretion to do some of the things they did, and it's understandable. But this just also goes to show that we did a great deal of work in order to be able to achieve those results. So it's disappointing that they have not implemented all the recommendations, even though they have committed to implementing them. The thing is, it would be a huge waste if the government wouldn't. A lot of the recommendations do not require a lot of money to implement. So government could have tried to implement all those recommendations that were simple basic reforms that did not really require a lot of financial layout, But they did not.
But they are saying, I saw in the newspaper, they are saying they did $150 million to implement some of these recommendations. Does this make sense?
That is a lot of money. I know that international tribunals cost a lot of money. But I don't know, what assumptions they used in
coming with such huge...
Yes. I really don't know. But I do think that it's a lot of money. Okay. They don't need an elaborate outfit for an internationalized tribunal. The accountability mechanism can be lean and strong. Okay. All they need is to have qualified people who can do it, and they give it. But Gambia, they have a way of overlooking its best and brightest. So, but anyway, that's for another day. It's difficult to comment on the figure because I haven't seen the figures. Okay. But I do want to believe that it's a lot of money. Okay. But really, there are 2 most expensive things in the TRRC recommendations. One is the accountability mechanism and the other is the reparations. Beyond that, the rest are just simple reforms, like closing Mile 2 and building a new prison. Government promised that they were going to do it.
They did not.
They did not. Whenever I take up an issue and make a lot of noise about it, suddenly they start running and make a lot of bold promises that they never deliver. It's like they just want to firefight or come up with band-aid solutions to issues that are raised, and then they leave it at that. They just want to bamboozle us, say or do things that would keep us quiet, and then as soon as the matter dies down, then they move on to something else, but they never deliver. Look at the issue of the ambulances. Now, how many ambulances are available to all the hospitals that are in the country? Very, very few. How many pickups do they have for political activities? How many vehicles do they have for political activities? So we have to have our priorities right. They are more concentrated or more concerned about entrenching themselves in power than delivering on the wishes and the aspirations of the people. That is the way I see it. Because if you would have more vehicles for politics than ambulances to help our sick people, then I think we are getting it wrong.
Okay.
And that is what we have in this country. But you can see it also in the budget. It speaks volumes about what the government wants to achieve.
What will you do different if you become president 2026? A lot of people have a lot of confidence that if Essa comes, we are going to have changes.
Oh, be rest assured, there would be wholesale changes. Complete system overhaul. We are going to go back to the drawing board and try to get it right. We have to have a decent plan that will take Gambia out of the abyss and take it and place it firmly in the path to development. There is a lot of nonsense that is happening that would end. Trust me. Look, this country is very blessed. We have a lot of Gambians with very good education, good track record, and good experience. We have a lot of Gambians in Gambia who are very experienced and very honest and love their country. But what we have now is a palpable failure of leadership, which is driving the country into the wrong direction. We will change that. We will bring fairness in the system. All government workers would be treated fairly. Now government workers are not treated fairly. What happens is those at the top are enjoying the cream that Gambia offers, and those at the bottom are not receiving their fair share. Just look at the disparity in salaries. President earning $500,000 and his driver earning $5,000. So the president is earning 100 times what his driver is earning. Do you think that that is fair? Do you think that that is justified? Look at the speaker, $245,000 a month. That is what is proposed in the new law. Do you think that that is fair to the Gambian people when teachers are earning $4,000? Do you really honestly think that is fair? That's why these people say Essa is angry. Yes, I am angry. I am really angry. I am not angry because I don't have fish money. I'm not angry because I can't dress well. I'm not angry because I can't drive a beautiful car. I am not angry because I don't have a good home. I'm not eating breakfast. They're eating only lunch. They're not even eating dinner. Is that fair?
No.
Most people cannot afford new clothes. They do sogajai. Is that fair? They tell us that Gambian hospitals are better than the hospitals abroad, but they run abroad for medical treatment. So for those who are saying Essa is angry about what is happening in this country, ask them, what is wrong with you?
Okay.
Why aren't you angry?
Okay.
Maybe the mayonnaise is too nice in their mouths.
Many people associate you to be a billionaire, somebody who is rich, somebody who has a lot of money. Because we work with you sometimes, I have to confess that I work with you sometimes, and some of the people I contact about you will say, well, Essa just knew how is a millionaire. Apart from your lawyer job, what businesses do you do? What makes you a very successful young man?
Look, people have their own ideas. People tend to exaggerate things, I am not poor. not by any means, not by any standard, thanks to God, but I work hard. I am not the politician who sits and wear a big grambubas and wait for people to contribute money and come to give me for my survival. I am ashamed of that. I am young and energetic. I have the brains, I have the training, I have the pedigree. I am needed by the world. Why should I sit down and wait for you, Kebba, Camara, to go and work and the women in the markets to contribute their $25 every month and so forth and put it together for me to have a good life? No, and therefore I work hard for my money. And this is the kind of culture I want to inculcate in Gambians. We have to work hard. There should not be any free meals. Why should I sit and wait for people to come and give me? No, I work hard. And because I work hard, and therefore I am able to provide, people think that I have it all. No, I also have my problems, but also I share the little that I have with people. If people come to me and I am able to help, I help. Sometimes some people will insult me and say, this guy Kiko Banda. Because they come having all expectations that I will solve their problems, but I can't. I cannot solve every single problem. But wherever I am able to help, I help. And Alhamdulillah, God's been helping me.
And really, you say, some politicians say, during at guys study digital beer. Can you explain that? What do you mean 5 years and you started digital beer? Who are the
Look, I don't want to really go into those things. We all know what the situation is in this country. A lot of people are in government working for their own interest. Their only concern is what they can get for themselves. And the reason is that the country is in very difficult situations. We are in dire straits. If the country is hard, the first law of nature is for you to look after yourself. Fankung, fankung. And that is what is happening. So that is why I say that this government is subjecting a lot of honest Gambians into the indignities of poverty. Imagine you are a civil servant, you earn $7,000, you have 5 children. Obviously, if this person is earning 7,000, the person is not likely to have a home of his own. All right? So that means this person with 5 children would be paying rent. That rent is not likely to be less than 5,000 or 8,000. A bag of rice has not yet been purchased. So it therefore means that this person would need a minimum of $15,000 to survive, or to have a decent living in this country. But they are paid 5,000. So what do you think they would do? They must find an avenue to get that extra money because they must survive. So that is why I say there is corruption in government, but this corruption is forced upon these public servants. If and when we are given the reins of power in this country, we will remove that indignity from these people. They are not corrupt because they want to be corrupt. No. A lot of them are corrupt because they have no choice. So we have to change this. The way we should change it is to pay them livable wages, to pay them fair wages. The 100 times disparity between the president's salary and the salary of other civil servants should be reduced. The waste should be cut so that civil servants are paid enough for them to survive. If they are paid enough for them to survive, they won't be corrupt. Because these are God-fearing people. You see, but you only fear God, you only think about God when you've solved your problem. When you don't have anything to eat, my friend, your children have nothing to eat. You don't think about these things. That's why I say, yes, there is a lot of corruption in this country. But the bulk of the corruption is forced upon these people. It's the indignity of poverty. I want to remove that indignity of poverty. That is the first step to fight corruption in this country. Pay these people fair salaries. By what I mean by fair is, you pay that person way too much and you pay them way too low. No, narrow the gap. Bring these people up, bring these people down. You know, so that it would make sense. You know.
UDP people say, Essa, it's not fair to us. When you compare Nguri Adam Barrow, because they said we have never controlled this government 100%. They say we are calling them 6 and 9, they are very close to Barrow, here and there. What is your reaction to these people who reach out to a lot of journalists and telling them Essa is not fair to the UDP people? What in your OA, NPP, we are 6 and 9?
Well, 9 is worse than 6. I would imagine. You know, but you see, the reality is a lot of people don't want to deal with the truth. I don't attack any political party. I don't attack any political party. I have never said anything bad against Bausen. Every day UDP people attack me.
Really?
Every day they attack me. But I don't have any problems with UDP people. In fact, I think I have more supporters in UDP than even in Somewhere.
Okay.
But by that, what I mean is, Somewhere as a party was small. And I personally have a lot of support in UDP. And that is the truth. A lot of people in UDP love me. All right? So I will not unnecessarily attack UDP. I don't do that. But also, we have to be alive to the truth that the first half of Barrow's government in 2017 was clearly a UDP government.
The first half?
Yes.
Was clearly a UDP government?
Yes, we all know that. So if they want to deny it now, it's just because the performance was nothing to brag about. That's why they are denying it. But I'm sure that if the performance was exemplary, they will embrace it and claim it. So when I said that the first half of Barrow's government was a UDP government, it's just a statement of fact.
Okay.
And they are only denying it or rejecting it because they know that it was a palpable failure.
Okay. There was a lot of controversy 2021. This might be the last question. A lot of controversy, push and pull 2021. After the elections, we saw you go to Ba Usenu. We saw you, Mama Kane, Ba Usenu. But later, people say you pull out. Where did Essa start? Why don't you congratulate Barrow? Do you believe that Barrow won the elections 2021? Or what people are saying otherwise, that the elections were rigged and a lot of malpractices happened? Where do Essa stand right now?
But this is a very pregnant question. It has a lot of questions in it. I have always said that I respect Bausen like I respect all elders in Gambia. This man is an elder statesman. I have the highest regard for him. I have said that during my early years in legal practice, he used to take me to work. We lived in the same area and we had a great relationship. I still hold him to that high esteem. I used to support the UDP party financially.
You?
Yes. Because I believe it was my responsibility to do so because I wanted change in the country. So if Ba Usainu needs me and calls upon me, I will go. I have had statements attributed to him that he did not call me, but I see that as politics. It's just politics. But I'm always committed to the truth, no matter the occasion. Whether it's politics or not politics, I have the evidence.
Okay.
They called me. Ba Usainu was unable to meet elsewhere because we all know that during the election he was feeling poorly, he was sick. Yeah. We all know that. It would be unfair for me to try to drag him to a neutral ground. I did ask for a meeting elsewhere, but was told that, well, he's not feeling well. Of course, I will go to his house. Even if today Ba Usainu calls me to come to his house to discuss matters of national interest, I will go. Because I respect him. Because I hold him to the highest regard. Because he's an elder statesman in this country. And I know that he has good intentions for the country. That's my belief. All right? But that does not mean that I have to agree with him in everything. No. All right? But I have to show him respect. That is my responsibility. Anybody who knows me, everything that I say, everything that I do, I always look for important values. Respect for those that deserve the respect. Honesty and propriety. And I try to do that. Those are the standards that I live by. So if Ba Usainu were to call me again today to discuss matters of interest, he tells me, okay, or nadingo, nan ya. I will go. Okay? Regardless of what people think. But I am a free person to think for myself, assess situations, and decide what I think is best for this country, or is best for my party, or is best for me. All right? The last time when I went to Ba Usainu's house, I was able to assess the situation myself.
When you went there?
Yes. I thought this was a dangerous situation. In fact, while there, I told Ba Usainu himself that what we are having outside is a dangerous situation. He should try to calm the situation down. And he did. He made some effort to calm things down. When I left there, I reassessed the situation with my team and decided that the best thing for me to do was to help dampen the tension in the country. That's why I accepted the election results as announced, even though I believe that the election results were not true.
They were not true, okay. But you accepted to calm down situation?
Yes, but also, even though I did not believe the election results were true, I did not have the proof to show that they were not true. If I had the proof, I would have gone to court. I am a lawyer. I cannot stand down and make certain statements that I cannot back. I did not have the evidence. Remember, in the elections, what they did was they tried to disperse all my agents. I had no agents in the polling stations. And there was a reason for that. It was a chance and opportunity to rig the elections. Remember, what I said is it was a chance and an opportunity
to rig the elections.
To rig the elections. I did not say that that was the basis for rigging elections. I am saying this because now every day they're looking for people to arrest. So I choose my words carefully, very nuanced. Okay? But I do not believe the election results. But I thought that it was necessary to do something to calm the situation down, to avoid post-election violence in Gambia. Look, I am a lawyer. I have dealt with cases in which thousands of people were killed as a result of post-election violence. Remember, I represented the President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, in the ICC for post-election violence. I also represented William Ruto for post-election violence. I know what can happen in these things. And that is why I thought that as a patriot, as a country-loving citizen, I should do something to calm the tension down. And I did what I did. And I'm glad I went to Ba Usainu's house. Because if I didn't, then probably I would not have a basis to come out and say I accept the result. I know some people are angry with me.
Yes.
And let me say it again. Some people say I did not condemn that woman who came out to say, yes, that Essa Faal should not have gone to Ba Usainu's house and made certain tribalistic comments.
Yes.
One, the thing is, and I still condemn it now.
Okay.
I don't condone tribalism. I don't. Okay? This country of ours is too little. We are all too connected. even those who claim to be pure.
Always at the ICC, Rohingya case, we saw it in the newspaper, we saw it in the news, that Amna something very big happened there, something positive, definitely an arrest warrant, etc. here and there. Can you talk about this? And do we see you going back to ICC again? Before?
I spent a lot of time in Gambia. Okay. You know, I go and come. Sometimes I work from home. Yeah, you know, so it's just a matter of having the internet. You know, so yes, I'll go to Holland. Hopefully, in a few days' time, I'll go to Holland. Okay. Maybe for a few weeks, I'll come back. I'll go again and come. I mean, look, I go to Holland anytime I want. Okay. I just want to do 2 more arrest warrants. Okay. And but these are easy things in our current situation. A lot of the work I do from home, from Gambia, you know. But hopefully, I haven't decided whether I'll do Ramadan in The Hague or in Gambia. Okay. It's easier to do it in The Hague. You know. So, but essentially, it's all done for me. Okay. To be quite candid, I know that by end of February, I think I would, or maybe after Ramadan, I would spend a whole lot more time in Gambia. Okay. Really, and start the campaign. Okay. And, yes.
Next interview, of course, maybe when he's back from Holland, we have a few more questions, like what he thinks about former President Jammeh. Do he think former President Jammeh deserve to be tried here in Gambia, in Senegal, in Holland? We will ask him that. But also, they got in there, say executively, ñu bari waxuñ sen tour, ñu ngi leen noba, why they need to hide most of those people. Part 2 will be coming, inshallah.
Yeah, but on that, let me just clarify. It's not most. It's just one person.
Who is not out there?
Yes, that is the president of the party. Okay. And the reason I have not mentioned the person's name mainly is we had agreed in principle, okay, that he is part of the party. Okay. But we have not agreed with him that he will take this position.
The president?
Yes. The person we have identified, that this is the person we want to be president. He has agreed to be a member of the party. Okay. All right? But we have not yet discussed with him. We have not yet secured his agreement for the person to become president of the party.
Okay. But you will be the flag bearer and the presidential candidate.
Yes.
It's different from the president of the party.
Yes.
Okay.
The president of the party performs a ceremonial role. Okay. So for us, that is our party. Okay. And we want to give it to a senior citizen, a person who has contributed significantly for Gambia, a person who does not really lead this party to be labeled as one tribal party. Okay. A person who has a lot to contribute because of his experience. You know, a person with the kind of temperament, the person with the kind of profile, the person with the kind of education that we need, the person who can guide us really to help this country, a person who has participated in shaping one of the best development plans of this country. So that's the kind. You see, our party, we have high profile people. I know. We have highly educated people. I know. We have people who can make a difference in this country. So this is not a plaything. This is national matters. So we want to show that we are the solution, and we are not playing any bones or games about that. And we want the Gambian people to see it from those really. You know, they used to say, Essa's party, Mom Kena Larek. Mom Kena. Yeah, well, filmmaker they have seen, we have from professors to housewives.
Yeah, okay, that's that.
You know, in the executive. This is the, well, from the parties that I know in Gambia, this is the strongest executive. For a political party.
Congratulations. Beleg part 2 done, inshallah, immediately after.
Let me just say a few words in conclusion. I want to thank everybody really for tuning in. APP Sobeya is now born. It's a new political party. So at least now we have a party. For those who are saying that they don't have a political party,
Okay.
now we have a political party. So when I say something, believe me, it happens. Okay? With the strongest manifesto. I know some people say that we copied their manifesto. You have not published the manifesto. You have no party. You have no manifesto. You want to say we copied your manifesto. Hey! Stop playing games with Gambian people. But be rest assured that we are here. We are making a lot of waves. Gambians are joining in droves. If we were to do what other parties normally do, you parade defectors from other parties, oh my God, we'll be having defector sessions every day.
Okay.
Groups are coming in their numbers.
Okay.
People are joining. People are joining because we have touched upon the chord. We have identified the problems that afflict this country and have shown that we are the solution. I encourage you all to come and join. We are the Sobea. We are the real deal. We are the solution to Gambia's problems.
Thank you very much.
And thank you all for listening.
Okay.
We will come again and
Okay,
we'll be giving you regular updates about APP Sobea. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank